Good morning, folks. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the cabin out here at St. Bernard Acres. This is Sunday morning, August 3rd. I'm having breakfast. How y'all are? Made me a simple one skillet breakfast bowl. Sausage, potatoes, peppers, onions, eggs, and cheese. Very simple. If I was cooking for more than one, I would have done it on the griddle. But one skillet, that's all I have to wash up, and a paper bowl. So, minimal dishes I have to worry about. That's the name of the game there. But, yeah, I'll show I did, some video of cooking it and everything. I'll stick that in here and have little bits and pieces of it going. But I thought I'd chat with you while I was doing breakfast, while I was eating. Because I do that. I do eat. So, I thought of something I wanted to talk about. And people don't like this, and some people do like it. I don't care anymore. I can't please everybody. The death of the American dream and the middle class. I have said in many videos that I believe where the state of America right now has been a 30-year plan, 40 years. And I'm going to give you my little timeline, how I think it worked out. In between bites. It started in the 80s with trickle-down economics. Remember, all those tax cuts for the rich and the corporations that was going to trickle down to the workers. Well, that never happened. Absolutely did not happen. So then, what that did was allow companies and the rich to hire more workers. So productivity went up. Well, and profits went up. Rather than give that to the workers, or share that with the workers at least, the government greenlit the stock buyback option. So companies now, instead of sharing the profits with the workers, they start buying back their stock. What does that do? It makes the companies richer, bonuses for the executives, and shareholders richer. That's what that did, right? Nothing went to the employees or to the workers. So now we decided to go ahead and have leveraged buyouts. That was the start of these private equity firms buying up everything in sight, right? The rich own the private equity firms, so they're buying up everything that they want. So then they decided that 401ks were better than pensions. All that did was remove the responsibility and accountability of the company for taking care of their employees' retirement and put it on them. They said it was better, right? Well, the biggest problem with that is they quit teaching economics and finance in school. Nobody learned about economics. Nobody learned about compound interest and investing and strategies. So that was just more money for the companies and for the rich. That's what the 401k plan was. Then we started shipping all the jobs overseas, right? Remember NAFTA and all that kind of shit, right? We were building the middle class in other countries by destroying the middle class in this country. In 2008, remember all the predatory lenders and that whole scam where everybody lost the real estate market, the bottom totally dropped out, right? The government lent money to save the banks. They gave the banks money to save them. What'd they do with that? They bought up houses. Companies got all this money. They bought up all the houses that were really cheap because of the whole real estate bust, right? That started the rent increases. Remember 2010s to 2015s, it just kept going up. Rent just went crazy because now companies and corporations and investment firms are buying all the housing. Then in 2011, we allowed super PACs to exist. And that allowed billionaires to basically buy elections because they would spend their money buying ads attacking the other party, right? Which made us hate each other, divided us. That's how they started controlling the elections, was through these super PACs. Then you had the pandemic, right? I'm not going to get all up into that and all the theories and everything, but let me tell you what happened during that. All small businesses were shut down. Everything was shut down except for the giants and the super rich. The Walmarts, the Krogers, the Lowe's, Home Depots, Amazons. Those all got to stay up and do business as normal, right? Well, the problem was nobody was working. You weren't allowed to go to work, so you had no money to spend. These giants were open, but nobody had any money to spend there. So what did the government do? They printed trillions of dollars to give to the American people who needed it. Well, they spent it because they needed to buy things. Where did they spend it? You got it. So now in 2025, look where we are. We can't afford to buy housing. The middle class is dead. The American dream is dead. We are wholly, totally owned by corporations and by the rich. We wiped out our middle class. So we only have two classes left. That's it. And I know I'm not in the other class. Well, that was a good breakfast. I enjoyed the chat with y'all and having another meal here in the cabin with everybody. Hope you got something from my chat. Let me know what you think about this. Because, like I said, I've mentioned in many, many videos, I believe this has been a 30, 40, 50-year plan of how to take the middle class down. But that's why everything is now owned by corporations, including the government. We are nothing, period. We will have nothing, and we will own nothing, and we will enjoy it. That's the plan. This is Joe here in the cabin on Sunday morning at breakfast. I'm out.